Okay, class, again, my camera isn't working, so sorry about that. Hopefully we'll figure that out. But today we are doing 6-1B, dimensional analysis. I split it up because dimensional analysis tends to be hard for people, so I wanted to have it have its own thing. So we converted a few sections ago, and so now we're going to convert even more. So we're going to use dimensional analysis. So number 1, convert 10 miles an hour to feet per minute. So notice we're changing both things. We're changing miles to feet and hours to minutes. Okay, so that is very important. You always start with what you're given. We have 10 miles over 1 hour. If it said for some reason 10 miles every 2 hours, then you put it over 2 hours. Everything we deal with today is going to be over 1, but just to letting you know. And then this is when we have to get from hours to minutes, okay? And you can pick the hours or the miles first. It doesn't matter. Let's just pick the hours. So we need to get from hours to minutes. Well, we know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, and I put the hour up here because we want them to be diagonal so we can cancel those hours out. Okay, so we're where we want to be with the minutes. Okay, if it said seconds, we'd do it again. Okay, but now we're going to do it again because it's miles to feet. Well, we know that there in 1 mile there's 5,280 feet. Okay, so we have our feet, which is what we're looking for. Yes, we have our feet and we have our minute, which is what we're looking for. So we're going to go through, we're going to cancel out the words minute and, I'm sorry, I just see the minute and mile will get me confused. Okay, so erase that. Made a little error there. That's not what we want to cancel out. Okay, so this, okay, sorry. Okay, so this is minutes. Minutes is what we're looking for. We're not canceling that out. So we're canceling the miles and the miles over here, and then our hour and our hour. And now we just multiply across. Okay, 10 times 5,280 equals, and you will get to use your calculator. And then we go across the bottom. We're left with 60 on the bottom. And you would divide that and get 880, and you have to label feet per minute. If you can't remember, it's what we were asked for and it's what we have left. Feet per minute. Okay? So there's quite a few steps to this. So you got to slow down and take your time. The assignment won't be real long, but you got to take your time. Okay, number 2, 3.5 quarts a minute. And we want to try to get it to gallons an hour. So you can start with the minutes or the quarts. Let's do the minutes again. It does not matter. So we know there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, so that's why I put the 60 on the top, because we want the minutes to be across from each other. Now we have to do the quarts. Okay, from quarts to gallons, there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So 4 quarts, 1 gallon. How do we know where to put it? We want the quarts opposite. So we cancel quarts. We cancel minutes, and we're left with gallons per hour, which is what we were looking for. So we stop, okay, and we multiply across again. So 3.5 times 60 is 210 over, it looks like it's going to be 4 on the bottom. Again, you can use your calculator, 52.5 gallons an hour. Okay, again, don't forget to label. And again, you should know by what you have left. Okay? So 12 centimeters a second and we're converting it to meters per hour. Okay, so this one's going to have a few more steps. Okay, so let's start with the seconds. We have to get from seconds to hours. If you know how many seconds are an hour, that's fine. You can use that. I'm going to do each step. You don't have to do that. I'm going to do each step. Okay, so we know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so our seconds would cancel. And then we know, but we still haven't gotten to hour yet. So then we also know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, so we would cancel those out. I know the minutes went up here because the minutes were down here right there. Okay, so we're to hour where we need to be, but we need to get from centimeters to meters. Okay, so there are 100 centimeters, whoops, that's a C, in 1 meter. Okay, so that one was only one step. You could have done 10 and then 100, I guess. Okay, whatever makes sense to you. So then we cancel out. So we have our seconds go away, our centimeters go away, our minutes go away, and we're left with meters per hour, which is what we want. So again, we just multiply across. So 12 times 60 times 60, if I look at my notes, actually I didn't even do that, I just gave you the answer. So 12 times 60 times 60 divided by 100, so you do 12 times 12 times 60 divided by 100, and you should end up with 432 meters an hour. Don't forget to label. I can't say it enough. Do not forget to label. Okay, last two. 35 yards a minute to inches per second. Okay, so again, we start with what we are given. Yards in 1 minute. We need to get to seconds. Well, in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. Okay, and again, we put the minute on the top because that's what we want it to be across from each other. And we need to go from yards to inches. Well, in 1 yard, there's 3 feet. Okay, this one we got to do one more. Then how many inches are in a foot? 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, and then that's where we need to be. So our yards cancel, our minutes cancel, our feet cancel, and we're left with inches per second, which is what we need. And then again, we just multiply across. So 35 times 3 times 12, and then it would be divided by 60, which ends up, from my notes, correct me if I'm wrong, 21 inches a second. Okay, if you do 35 times 3 times 12, all divided by 60. You should get 21 inches a second if my notes are correct. Okay? Make sure, yeah. Okay, so 80 miles an hour to feet per second. So 80 miles in 1 hour. And we're trying to get to feet. Again, it doesn't matter if you start with the miles or the feet, but or the miles or the hours. So we're going from miles to feet. So there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay, so we're where we need to be there with the feet. And then hours to seconds. Again, if you know how many seconds are in an hour, go with that. So in 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. And in 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. So we're where we need to be. Okay, so let's cancel mile, mile. Feet is what we want. Hour, hour. Minute, minute. So then again, we multiply across, and we get, let me look at my notes again, 117. I have in 1/3. You might have 0.3333 repeating. That's fine. Feet per second. Alrighty. And then I have another little, if you can read it. Uh-oh, here they come. This could be a problem.